We is live. We are live.
Oh, Sweet 16. Gotta love that movie. Ah, sexy girlfriend.
Wait a minute. How come I can't hear anything?
I
What's
don't know.
going on?
I don't
What's
know.
going
It's always you. It's never me. It's always you.
on? Jeez Louise.
Mm.
There we go.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Give me 1
I
second.
can
Be
barely
right
hear
back.
you. You sound like a computer.
Really?
Oh, now you're better.
Okay, hang on.
Bentley. Split personality. Hey, Kelly. Deli legend. Texas fan. GTO was a hell of a vehicle, dude. Hell of a vehicle. Jay Villa in the hizzy. Hey, Lavina.
Lavina.
Lavina. Tomata. Lori, how are you?
What up, people?
Marissa, Itsy Bitsy Spider.
Hey, everyone.
Oh my God, gag me with a spoon. Valley Girl is in the house. What's up?
Now I'm thinking, do we need... we're going to show the second video. I'm not going to show the first video.
Oh, the one I haven't seen.
There's a
Was asked to
significance.
go live with you guys to clear up her. I heard. Manny was just telling me a little bit about that.
Oh, I got to hear this.
Oh, hey John, what's up?
Hey, John, Valley Girl, Kelly, Itty Bitty Spider, Marissa, Julie, Legend, Jessica, everyone. Welcome to another exciting edition of Manny Behind the Mic.
And where we talk about anything and everything.
Pretty much.
No topic is taboo.
Depends what time it is.
Hey, for me, this is like 2 a.m. No topic is taboo.
Yeah,
Just
Bam's filter kicks in whenever. Actually,
filter my ass. I don't have one.
Yeah, that's what I mean. His filter is lost. It's missing.
It's broken. It's broken with my crystal ball.
Happy Terrible Tuesday. Taco Tuesday, by the way.
I should have, I almost stopped at Taco John's and I'm like, nope, I want a burger instead.
Taco
Hey,
John?
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Taco John.
Well, they're about, where the hell's my camera? They're about, where the hell's my camera?
I told you it was going to happen.
They're about this much higher class than Taco Bell.
They're equivalent. Or I'd say Taco Bell, Taco John.
Oh.
Not a fan.
Yeah, so I haven't decided if I'm going to call in sick and take the whole day, the morning, or what tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah, so for the past 2 days, I've been subbing for a guy that's out sick. And he has a grade school route and a high school route. And his high school route's a breeze. I mean, I am done with that route in like 15 minutes. Grade school route is like all over the freaking world. And they're okay in the mornings. But in the afternoons, these kids have no clue what that ass is for. They don't know how to sit down. They don't know how to be quiet. And I'm okay with dealing with a little bit of noise. But when you're screaming at the top of your freaking lungs.
And how old are these kids now?
Let's see, they're grade school. So like first grade through sixth. So I don't know. 7, 8, 9, 10. Broad range of children.
Yeah.
They are capital brats. I mean, every letter is capital, and brat's not even a freaking word for these damn kids.
So let me ask you this: if you're contemplating calling in sick tomorrow, would you think it's a wise decision to broadcast that on a YouTube live show that you're thinking about doing that?
I'm under contract.
Oh,
Literally, I'm a contract employee.
Alrighty. Well, that takes care of that.
Yeah, I have the time, so they can do absolutely nothing because I'm contracted. But so, I mean, yesterday I pulled out, didn't even get a half of a house down the street. I'm pulling over because the kids aren't sitting down. I'm like, I'm not moving until you sit down. So they all sit down. Then I make it to the stop sign, and I'm sitting there and sitting there and sitting there. And I'm like, I have all damn night. I can do this all night. And they wouldn't. And then they're like starting to chant, "Take us home, take us home."
No.
Oh, yeah. So you know what I did? I took their happy little asses, went around the block, pulled right back into the school.
Get out.
You know, principal came on board the bus, and she goes, "I'll ride the route with you." I'm like, okay. Did the route, no issues. Today, day two. Pull in there. And I blocked off the back seats. You know, I counted out the amount of seats for the children, 2 per seat. Nobody sitting in the back of the bus.
Yeah.
So what do they try to do? The last 2 seats that I have blocked off, 18 kids try to sit in those seats.
Holy crap.
Oh, yeah. They all want to sit in the far back. So I'm standing up, walking in the aisle, and the assistant principal's out there watching me and listening to me. I'm like, you over here. You all got to sit down on your butts before we even move. Finally got him seated. Did the first 2 drops. Fight on the bus. Drove their happy asses back to the school.
Oh, boy.
And they're screaming, "We want Mr. John back! We want Mr. John back!" I get my little mic, and I'm like, trust me, I do too. I am so over these freaking kids. And then I'm sitting here thinking, so do I want to take tomorrow off? Or do I actually want to go? Because if I take tomorrow off and I have the same route again, that's like giving in and letting them win.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to let these brats win.
All these mind games, Bam, and these kids on their bus. That's funny. For those of you who don't know, last year, I'll say last year and before, anytime we had a conversation about kids, Bam's words were, "I hate kids.
Oh, I can't stand those sons of bitches.
They're noisemakers." That's what he calls them.
Well, that's what babies are, noisemakers.
So what happens months and months later? He makes an announcement. He goes, "Yeah, I got a job." Like, "Oh yeah, what are you gonna be doing?" Driving a school bus full of kids. And I'm like, what could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong in this scenario? Let me tell you, I walk around with a cattle prod.
So, fortunately, I think Bam has been able to keep his composure and not strangle anybody.
I made it a year.
And he since has changed. Have you ever heard, Bam likes to let the word MFer swing. He just lets it rip, right?
Oh, it free flows. I mean, it's like how people say I love you. Motherfucker. Motherfucker. It's every word out of my mouth. I mean, me and Samuel L. Jackson, we're neck and neck. And I don't do it to do it. I mean, it's just how I am.
Good evening, everyone. Erica, Vicky, Facebook user. Hey, Jessica. Yes, I did see that. Oh, man. I thought I posted that. I need to post it. Dude, remember that crazy lady we had who was talking about minor attracted people?
Yes.
Well, a similar thing happened to
we didn't have her. We played her video.
Yeah. I wouldn't have her.
She's a shrink or a therapist or something.
Yes.
Yes.
Of all things.
She needs some therapy.
Yeah, those people need therapy.
Yeah.
Jessica Lee sent me a story on that. I was like, what? There's a teacher telling kids to refer to don't use the word pedophile. Forget about that word. They're minor attracted people.
That is, I mean,
And it's like, what? It's, oh, man.
okay, so wow. I mean, the word wow. I mean, it covers a lot. It
Yeah.
covers a lot. It doesn't even touch this.
Hey, Carol. Yo, Dead Butterfly Project. She goes, F them kids.
You know, if I would not get in trouble for slapping a child,
Oh, no, don't even. Yeah, don't.
but I have too much strength and I have too much mind power not to do that. I have too much willpower. That's what I'm looking for. I have too much willpower not to slap a child. But if I could, I don't think I'd slap it. But boy, I'd sure remind it what that ass is for.
So, our little friend came out of hiding all of a sudden.
I heard.
There was a John. Is John Allen in here?
He was. I bet he still is.
Hey, John. It worked. So our little friend made a couple of videos today. One video she did in her car and talked about a couple of things. And she talked about, remember, well, if you saw some of that, Bam, I don't know if you got to see it.
Yeah, I watched about 45 minutes of it, maybe a little bit more.
We talked a little bit about, John, somebody in the crowd brought up, oh, are you going to sue her for slander or whatever? And so we talked about that a little bit. And she was very defiant with that today about nobody's going to sue me and blah, blah, blah. I was like, whatever.
What are you going to get out of her? She has nothing except a Mustang.
Yeah.
And then she's probably making payments on that. I mean, she has a house with no plumbing, from what I understand.
Yeah, exactly. Shelly hit it right there. Shelly. Bam, why are you a bus driver if you hate kids?
It's called I need to make money to pay my monthly responsibilities.
Yeah. Plus, he doesn't really hate kids. He's just,
like
he just
the little
dislikes
kids.
them very much.
Like the little kids, like the kindergarten and like those kids are cool because you can reason, they're too scared to do anything. Okay, your grade school kids, you can't reason with them. I tried. Middle school kids, you can reason with them. High school kids, you can reason with them. These grade school kids, I'm like, guys, just sit down for 20 minutes. It's 20 minutes of your life from here to home. I'm not asking to move a mountain. I'm really not. I'm not asking you to make a rocket to fly into space. I'm asking you to sit on your butt for 20 minutes. It's not difficult.
Simple, right? Simple.
They can't. They don't know how.
Settle down, Bam. Settle down. You're not on a bus right now, okay?
They just got me so worked up. I feel like I could be one of the Sanderson sisters. Come, little children, will I take thee away?
See, I don't even know who the Sanderson sisters are, but if you do, if you guys know who that is, you're old.
Hocus Pocus, okay? And
not
speaking of which, Hocus Pocus is supposed to drop the end of this month on Disney Plus. Hocus Pocus 2.
It's disappointing that I heard that they're going to make a Beverly Hills Cop 4.
Well, the first two were great. The third one sucked.
Sucked very much. It was a big suck.
And as long as we're talking movies and remakes, I've seen the trailer for the Little Mermaid movie.
Yeah, and
I mean, she's pretty. She can sing, but I mean, why are we doing the same thing that Disney already did that was animated and made millions? I mean, if you're going to do Little Mermaid the movie, do something completely different with it.
That's my thing. And even remake, I don't care if they want to remake them with black people or with Hispanic people. I'm just saying in general, why don't you just make original movies? Do something original. Quit remaking the old stuff.
I mean, dare to be different. I mean, it's not rocket science.
So our little friend went live earlier, and she was defiant about not being sued, and nobody's going to sue me, whatever. Like, okay. And that's fine. She came out of hiding or wherever she was, and she seemed to be back at work or
A crack
or
binge?
seemed like it.
Drug binge? Alcohol binge? Some kind of binge?
Don't know. I'm not going there, but I know nothing.
Sex binge? I mean, it could be any kind of binge.
So then she popped up on a live with another gentleman.
Ooh.
He's got a YouTube page, and he's usually wearing a wig and lipstick and going at it with another YouTuber, and they go at it back and forth, pretty nasty.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were doing a live, but instead of having her at home or in her car, she was actually in the same room with them.
Oh, no shit.
Yep. And doing the show I did last night with Digital Dimwit, Victor, once I got done with that show, I decided that, you know what? The other guy, his initials are JC. And I actually thought about, you know what? I might give him a shot, bring him on the show, ask him a bunch of things I want to ask him about why he does certain things, and just in general, ask him maybe about the feud he's got going on with someone else. So I entertained that all night into today, and then he went live and had Vanessa as a guest, and that's when they mentioned me, and he mentioned something which at that point I was like, yeah, scratch that idea. I changed my mind. It's not going to happen. I was going to extend an olive branch, so to speak, and after what they pulled today, I was like, nah. Better not. So this is what happened.
Well, what do we got going on here?
Yeah, and there's the part that I wanted to show everybody right from the get-go. Hang on, let me kill the porn music.
Kill the porn!
Kill the porn. So, yes, they went live together. And at a remote location.
You know who he kind of looks like with those cheeks?
Mm-hmm.
He did the Jello commercials.
The Jello commercials. Bill Cosby?
Yes. Those cheeks and that mouth. I mean, he reminds me of Bill Cosby.
I don't know. You got to give me some time with that one.
Okay, time's up.
I don't see it.
Oh, it hit me right from the get-go.
So they go live, and what I just noticed a little bit ago, if you guys look back here in the window, there's a reflection. And
that's a mirror.
That's a window.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to play it. I'm going to play a few seconds of this. And you can see somebody walk by. Can anybody make out who that is? Here, let me just play this before I just play it normally. Here we go. He starts talking. And here you see somebody walk by. See? Did you see that?
No.
Right here. Right about now.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Can't tell if that's a female.
Well, it looked like it had a ponytail.
Yep,
an awfully long ponytail.
Maybe a male with a ponytail, right? Could be. Can't tell. It's not possible. But if somebody knows the players and somebody knows who that is or where this location was, I mean, I've been given a lot of tips on where that probably is. And so let's just play some of this. And so I had John Allen yesterday. You saw that, Ben. You said you saw most of it.
Yep.
And it seems like
rehab. Jessica.
Seems like they are doing some damage control right now. At least that's what I get out of it. So let's just play this thing, and we'll do the usual. Here we go.
There we go.
Hello. How's everybody doing this afternoon? I'm here with Vanessa Tijerina, guys. And so Vanessa gave me the privilege to interview her. A lot has been going on with her life, from harassment to bullying, cyberbullying, from stalking. She's been a victim to this. And this is what you call a victim right here, guys. A person who has made the outcry to different agencies for help and they failed to do it. So I decided to bring Vanessa on board, and I want to hear her story. I want to hear her side of her story of how she's been able to survive. And so, Vanessa, there's been things circulating around with some screenshots from a group that I had, and I want to know your point of view regarding to that.
Okay, hold on. Let me put my timer real quick.
Okay, great.
I'm on a limited time.
I understand.
And
She's on a limited time. So are we going to play with
there you go.
profiles? Is she going to profile people
Yeah,
and
they're tuning in right
do
now.
that shit?
I'm guessing.
It's okay.
I'm guessing she is because she's got her pen out. You'll see her get her pen out, and she's probably got her little notebook there. So yeah.
She's taking names.
I know that y'all are a little bit busy, and thank you so much, Jaime, for having me. Can you all try to maybe share this, even if it's with your friends? Please. I know some of y'all don't like me, but for the ones that do, can you please share this? This is important.
Okay. We're sharing it.
We are.
Right?
We're doing what she asked.
We're helping you out. We're
sharing
this.
it with 135 people right now.
Yep.
I'm asking everyone, por favor, guys, to respect Vanessa during this live. Whatever you have towards her, you like or dislike her, I'm asking for respect. And let's just hear her out. Let's hear what she's got to say, guys. I mean, she's been wanting to come on board with us. She's been wanting to speak with you guys and to hear her story. So let's tell us a little bit more about.
So Bam, you've seen some of his stuff before. He's usually wearing a wig, some makeup, and he'll sit in his car and do some kind of program or show or whatever.
I've never seen a drag queen in a car do a podcast.
That sounds funny, doesn't it? And the dude, it could be funny. I mean, he really could. But there's some you'd have to watch to see.
About your story and stuff like that. How you've been a survivor from John Allen to Ofelia Moreno to Lupe Thompson. How have you survived that?
I've said this story, I've said it a million times before. It all started just because my son was getting bullied. Because my son was getting bullied, I live in a small community, and y'all know how it is. A lot of your children have gotten bullied before. And what do, right?
Right.
I'm somebody that has been an advocate my entire life, literally my whole entire life, since I was 18.
Really?
So after 18, she quit being an advocate?
No, she said that's when she started being an advocate.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, an advocate for.
She's an advocate for anything that tickles her fancy,
For-
grabs her ass.
Yeah, for what exactly back then?
For anything and everything.
All right.
And so I also advocated for myself when I was younger. I know what it's like to be bullied because I was different when I was younger. And so when my kid was bullied, my 11-year-old son, and then my 18-year-old was a dating violence situation. Long story short, it was my children were victims.
So the whole family was bullied. All the kids were bullied. Everybody was bullied.
The whole family's victims. She just said that.
And I asked for help. And
of course, bullying is a shitty thing. I don't like it. People can say that I'm a bully for restreaming the videos.
Manny, you're such a bully.
But all I'm doing, I'm helping her out. She said, share.
Share and share alike.
So we're sharing. That's all I'm doing. I'm showing videos that are already publicly posted.
Hi, Rini.
I naively assumed that my community and the people that were leaders in my community that were in positions to help me were actually going to help my family. And they all let me down. All along the whole way, they let me down. And so then what do? You have to get political, especially when the people in power don't help you. But when you do that in a small town, you get a lot of hate.
So going back to the first question.
Okay, so this was this afternoon. This was today. I don't remember what time, 3 or 4 o'clock, something like that.
Okay.
Around 3 o'clock. That's when this happened. This was live today.
But I asked regarding to those screenshots that RJ, dished out from a group chat that everybody knew that I had. Over 50 people were invited to that group chat. It was supposed to be a group chat of people doing monetary donations in there, talking.
Now, mind you, when her kids were taken that day that she was arrested,
Mm-hmm.
which am I pointing this way? He was the one who made the phone call to get those kids taken care of.
This guy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was nice of him.
And he was doing the right thing, but it's his fault that all this happened. He's not his fault. It's partly his doing why she doesn't have her kids right now.
Does she know this?
Oh, she knows that.
Oh, but yet she's
fully
okay with
aware.
it.
You wonder what the logic is. But now they're buddy and okay and everything. Okay.
Well, they might be sleeping together. You don't know.
Get to know.
Okay, maybe it was 4 o'clock or whatever, around 5 o'clock, somewhere in that late afternoon.
Eventually, the group fell apart when a few of us stayed in there. But what do you think about those screenshots where Ophelia's saying that that's an organized crime?
Okay. Well, let's go back to the very, very beginning, because before that, we need to establish one thing. We need to establish me clarifying that I never asked anyone at all to go to somebody that has shown me hate like that before. And you know exactly who I'm talking about, okay? He may have already said the name, right? But if I say it, then y'all are going to come after me, and I'm going to try to do this the nicest way I possibly can. I mean, This is me defending myself and defending the issue in the way that I see it. And there's people out there that are trying to manipulate the situation.
I'm assuming she's talking about John.
I think so.
Because she refuses to say the name. And he had no names have been said yet, but hers. I don't even think he said his name. So I'm assuming they're talking about John.
Yeah, I wonder, did he even say the name? If he did, I missed it. But it's a good assumption, all right? And she's saying that they are trying to manipulate things, not okay. Now let's see where this is going.
Oh, Julie says he
people
did
are
say
out there saying that I asked certain people to create communication with somebody regarding another human being flying drones on my property. You all know me. If you follow me, whether you love me or you hate me, I talk about every issue that matters to me, every single issue.
Mm-hmm.
If I cared about drones being flown over my property, you all would have been hearing it in like 15, 20 live videos now.
Well, we have heard you talk about it at least, half a dozen times.
Right? We did have her talk about that drone situation.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out, she's got a beef. There was a drone flown around, and it was apparently flown right over her house. And which is, if I'm not mistaken, against the law.
Considering it is private property, and even though it's not physically on the property, she technically has air rights above her property, which is her property. So
yeah,
technically,
your property is their house, and it goes straight up.
Yeah,
and including airspace. So there's a privacy issue there. So I get that. I don't have a beef with that. I don't.
Nope.
Vanessa, I back you on that one. All right.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I've never mentioned it because I care about my.
Okay, well that's a lie because you have mentioned it. So
at least a dozen times.
Yeah.
You physically trying to put hands on me, and it'd be more than one person or somebody with a weapon. Let's start with there, because that right there was the beginning of a huge division. That right there, when somebody chose to do that, I didn't know about it. And then I was told and it was presented to me in another kind of way. And I was like, but I don't care about no drones or nothing like that.
Bullshit.
And so other things started to happen in that chat.
Correct.
And then
it all circulated that RJ and we had a fallout. I felt that she did me dirty, just like Ophelia did dirty to Frank, because I trusted her. I opened up with her with certain, things going on in my life and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, that was her choice. But she wanted to get you involved with some sort of informant. There was no informant. Vanessa had no idea what was going on, that RJ was communicating with Ophelia behind her back, lying to her, trying to smear Vanessa's name, and of course, my name. In that there's, a private chat we had going, and some of the screenshots were taken to Ophelia. Ophelia paid them last night, and I'm asking your honest opinion. Ophelia said it was an organized crime. I think that, you've been in a similar situation like that. What is your idea, or how can you compare these two? Is there such thing as a comparison with what I did to what she's done?
You can compare them, but when you compare them, you can see that it's not the same. There's a huge difference. Huge difference. I heard people claim that's a conspiracy to commit murder. No, that wasn't. That wasn't even a conspiracy to create physical harm against somebody. I know what it's like for people to conspire to form a network of hate, to not just stalk you, when you happen to be at a store and you happen to see somebody and for whatever reason you don't like them, it's happened to me. Obviously, I've been gang stalked. I've had people like John Allen pay people gas money to literally stalk me.
Where's the evidence of that? She keeps making these allegations, and where's the evidence of that? If you got proof of that, Vanessa, yeah, I'll back you. And I'm like, now, John, what's up? Is this for real?
I have 25 cents to pay anybody that will follow Vanessa around for 30 days straight. 25 cents. Any takers?
That's about a tenth of how much is that in gas? Not much.
It's about all I can afford. I'm broke. I'm poor.
As a matter of fact, I'm sorry to interrupt you. 2 weeks ago, he contacted me, offered me $50 to find out where you work, to harass you and stalk you at your work. And I didn't participate in that. I thought it was something that, is not right. I mean, why go after your bread and butter?
And this was addressed yesterday. I flat out asked John about that, and take that how you want to take it. But this was addressed yesterday. We can go back to that if you want.
You've come up a long way as a person. You're trying to succeed in life. And for somebody to go after your job placement, that is totally wrong. And
we're hoping it's just my job, y'all. You see, I know that he is behind that hate page. I know that he is. It's him.
As a matter, I have a screenshot when the page first started, where he asked me to share that No More Cheeseke's likes, to push it, to promote it.
Yeah.
At the time, I was on Facebook jail, so I didn't participate in that. And even like that after, I did not share that page because, of course, I have nothing personal against Vanessa, and we might have our differences.
I have nothing personal against Vanessa. That was funny.
But at the end of the day, we're adults. We learn how to mature from them and put them aside. So again, thank you for being here with me.
Thank you. And this isn't mutual hate at all towards anybody. Mm-hmm. This is literally clearing up inconsistencies. And when people get desperate, they want to lie and throw accusations. And in the case and the things that are unfolding within the last 48 hours, what people are claiming have happened to them are things that those people that are claiming have actually done to me. They've actually gang stalked me. That particular
So that's a new term.
What,
I only
stalk?
Gang stalking.
Well,
and I've only heard
she's been saying it about 3 weeks now.
Well, I mean, that's what I mean. She's been saying it, but prior to that, I never heard that term before.
Yeah, neither have I.
Didn't know if it was a real thing even. But you know, this Urban Dictionary, they keep adding new slang terms for this or that, and apparently it's a thing. I don't know. Have we even looked to see if it's a thing?
I don't know. Google it.
Gang stalking. Let's see, gang stalking. It's in Wikipedia. For bullying and harassment of an individual by a group. See mobbing as well.
So a group is more than two people.
I would imagine 2 or more people. That would make it a group.
Right. So in order to be gang stalked, you got to have at least minimum 3 people stalking you at all times.
Gang stalking or group stalking is a set of persecutory beliefs in which those affected believe they are being followed, stalked, and harassed by a large number of people. The term is associated with the targeted individual virtual community formed by the like-minded individuals who claim their lives are disrupted from being stalked by organized groups intent on causing harm.
Virtual community.
Yeah.
So I guess we're part of the gang stalkers there then.
This is she's applying that everywhere.
Okay, well, you know, I'll be upfront and honest. I follow her on Facebook.
Yeah, if we follow on social media, that doesn't necessarily mean stalking.
Well, I don't know. In her world, it could.
I mean, is it the same thing? Hey, everybody, come to my page and stalk me. I mean, follow me. See, that's different. Come and stalk me on my page. See, that's different. It's different.
Yeah, and if you don't have anything better to do, you can stalk me too. I don't fucking care.
Page is run by John Allen. We want to say it's harmless. It's just hate. No, it's gotten physical for me. When that person who's behind a hate page was seen in front of my home on the morning that I was taken hostage, and in the months leading up to when I was taken hostage and tortured for 3 hours, that same man was known in those months to be trying to pay people to get drugs put in my vehicle.
See, all this stuff she's making up. She's got no evidence whatsoever.
Yep, she is.
If you had that kind of
John Allen, it's John Allen.
If you had the proof and you have that kind of evidence, why didn't you file charges? You know, the charges never were filed, complaint was never filed, a report was never made. Why? You hate the dude so much and you got so much evidence. Why weren't charges ever? Why wasn't a complaint ever? Why wasn't a report never? Nothing.
Okay, well, you know,
there was nobody who saw him around your house. There was nobody. That doesn't exist.
She goes from he has been seen at the hotel, he has been seen at my house, and then in the next video, his likeness was at the hotel. His likeness has been seen at my house 5 and 6 different times. Okay, well, which is it? Is it him or is it someone that looks like him?
Yeah, or is it the boogeyman? Is it Peter Pan? You know, what Santa Claus?
Or are you just pulling this out of your ass? Because that's what I seem to think.
So again, you show me evidence or proof that it was John, and I'll be right next to you with that. I'll support you with that.
Yeah, if you're so worried about people stalking you, and install some security cameras outside your home.
To just have me put in situations where I would get arrested, that same man. We want to believe that it's just an innocent hate page if a hate page can.
So did he force you to take your controlled substances, your narcotics, your drugs, whatever you want to call them? Did he force you to do that as well? You know, did he shove that down up your nose, or force you to drink stuff, or force you to whatever?
I mean, if she's still talking about John Allen and that, I'd have to say it's a hard no, because I know John Allen's past, and I know where he came from. I know that he was part of the military. He has way, 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 way too much integrity for that.
And better things to do.
Yeah, that too.
Be innocent. That's because I'm giving it some credit. But what kind of hate is innocent, right? That we want to say oh, he just wants to know where you work so he can try to get you fired. Well, first of all, my employers are they're waiting for that phone call. Believe me, there. The second of all is,
and that's one train that I'm not on, is getting people fired or doxing them, calling their job and whatever. Not my thing. I'm not interested in that. I don't agree with that kind of activity on any side at all whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, don't feck with people's livelihoods.
And if people are trying to do that and they got their reasons, well, then they got more details than I do about certain things. But that's not my thing
is
at
it
all.
really that he just wants to get me fired? Or does he want to carry out what he organized on December the 24th of 2020, which I will always believe that he organized? And does he want a different outcome? Not just my face 3 or 4 times its regular size, not just hoping that he gets my teeth knocked out with somebody else's hands, or that my face is hopefully deformed enough so that I never make a live video again. Then what if the outcome that he seeks is not just as innocent as, let me try to find out where she works so that I can try to get her fired, but let me try to find out where she works so I can make sure that she no longer exists. That's how serious this can be. That's a conspiracy.
See, she's the one introducing now. First it was just stalking and this harassment and this and that. Now it's someone's trying to unalive her.
Unalive.
And you can't say the other word because the YouTube.
I get it.
So I ask you guys to remember the video I showed, created by No More Cheeseke's Lies, the montage of her telling her story about how the beating was related to jealousy and the ex-boyfriend and the new girlfriend and her name being Vanessa's name being tattooed on his back. And days after the beating and even months after the beating, it was all about that. There was no mention of John, Jojo, Ophelia, Frank, Lupe, George. There was no talk. There was none of those names were even mentioned. Did she have other beefs with them? I believe so. But was there any mention of those people having something to do with her beating? No. It was all about jealousy. She said it. She said it herself.
That's a conspiracy to commit a federal offense.
And she's trying to play that organized crime term, throwing that out there because that is a felony. That's a serious offense. Because now you're talking, organized crime. You're talking mafia and conspiracies, right?
Ooh, what mob are we with?
Yeah, good question. We gotta do the. I don't know.
I mean, I need to know what part of mob I'm with.
Well, you're with the LGBTQ mob, aren't you? The Rainbow Tribe. I don't know.
I can't deal with them. No, the new gays are not right.
That's a conspiracy to commit a felony. When you were part of that, you created that. When you were maybe the person between John Allen and the people that are actually going to jail for putting their hands on me, when you're that person that made that, you were the middle person that no one's ever going to find out you were. So no one's ever going to find out who the John Allen was actually behind it, right? Or so he thinks. It's as simple as asking for his phone calls. And how do you think I feel when I get a screenshot of John Allen 6 weeks before I'm taken hostage, right?
Right.
Working hand in hand with the people that are prosecuting me. Yes.
And there is receipts for that, Vanessa, all along. I do have receipts where he was messaging or getting information from investigator Maris. Mijares. I do have receipts of that. The investigator told him I cannot give you certain stuff, but still gave him information that you were in jail. I think for that, it's public records. You call county for that. You don't ask the investigator, right? So that is a violation of a HIPAA violation? Or where would that fall?
No, it's not a HIPAA violation.
It's not a
The fact
violation.
is that it's a conflict of interest. How are you going to have How are you going to be working with the prosecution? And then now it makes sense. It's like the first thing that you ask somebody that is a survivor of such a serious crime is, Miss Tijerina, who on the planet would want to do this to you?
See, she's just inserting what she would like to ask
Well, yeah.
herself.
Serious crime is, Miss Tijerina, who on the planet would want to do this to you? No one asked me that. Why?
Why? Because
Why
it's
didn't
not.
anyone ask me that?
It's not the first thing that anybody would ask. It's last.
Yeah, I call BS on that. That's always the first thing. Who would want to do this to you? So we can go talk to them. That's always the first. That's going to be one of the first questions. Do you know anybody who would want to do this to you? That would be right on top of what to ask her. So I don't buy that they didn't ask her. I don't buy it. I don't get it.
The first person I would say was John Allen.
Oh, of course.
And all you have to do is look at his phone records, look at his social media activity, look at his Facebook, look at whatever chats he was in, because that always stays there. That's all you have to do. You subpoena Facebook, especially for criminal things. Facebook has to give that up because it involves a serious crime, an organized crime.
Requests were never made.
Organized crime.
Requests were never made, and that kind of activity was deemed not likely. So none of that ever happened.
That's not protected, right? Otherwise, then Facebook would be an accessory to a crime, and Facebook doesn't want to be.
Mm-hmm.
So when you do that, I can't believe that
She lost her place in her story that she was making up. That's what happened right there. She lost track of where the lie was going next. That's what happened there.
I can't believe that he was working. Would be an accessory.
So instead, she has to go with, like, oh, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? I can't believe he was
accessory to a crime, and Facebook doesn't want to be. So when you do that,
she's like, damn, where were they going with this?
I can't believe that he was working. When you are law enforcement and you allow that to happen, you empower these people. John Allen must have felt so
What's going through this
protected.
dude's head at this point?
So protected because he felt like he was one-on-one with law enforcement.
Good question.
Because I'm sitting here going, what the fuck is this woman talking about? And he's looking, he gave her a couple looks like, are you really crazy, bitch?
No, he was on the, he was not, they were not friendly. And he was opposite her for a while too. So I don't know, maybe he feels a little awkward because he wasn't always, team Vanessa. And all of a sudden he is. All of a sudden. Wonder why. And gee, look at that place that they're at. Some kind of office or a conference room or warehouse office or something, I'm told. And yeah.
Because law enforcement was working with him.
Close your eyes. You're trying to make stuff up? Reaching for, where am I going with this? Where am I going with this?
I mean, look at his eyes right there.
He's like,
I mean, he's got to be thinking, bitch, are you really crazy? Because I'm starting to think you are.
who said that? Mary Sykes? No, he is not a lawyer. He's got lawyers in the family. His brother's an attorney, but he himself is not a lawyer. He's just claiming to be supportive of her for whatever reason. Virtue signaling is really what it's about. And but we'll see. Let's see where this is going.
And so when law enforcement then sees, oh crap, Vanessa was something that most people would not survive. Then they understand, and then they start to see within the next year that follows, year and a half, John Allen is very hateful to me. But it's like, well, wait a minute. What if we do look into it? And what if we do find out that John Allen was behind and totally organized it? Do you know how bad we're going to look? Because literally within a month and a half before that happened to her, we were working with him to try to put her in jail.
So is she saying that that's why they didn't look into him?
Because they're working with him to try to put her into jail. It came right out of the whale's or horse's mouth, or however you want to say it. It came right out of her mouth.
So that's why the police didn't look into John Allen, because they were all buddy and working together to conspire against her.
To put her in jail.
And if they look into John Allen, well, we better not look into John Allen, because, you know, we're trying to take care of John Allen. So we can't look into John Allen. So let's just not do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like some kind of Law and Order script.
No law enforcement wants to have that on their record. None.
I do have a timeline of dates where you work, who you were with, and hours, and like a whole days after days after days after days of what you were doing.
It's surveillance.
Your
Why are you
whereabouts.
going to survey me? Why are you going to want to know my whereabouts? And all of that is just a coincidence, right? It's just a coincidence that there is a detailed timeline up until the day I was tortured. It's just a coincidence, right?
Well, let's see. Where's the evidence? Show. Like I said, if there's evidence that whoever it was responsible for it, I'll be on your side. I'll call them out. I'll call John out. But show me. You can't just throw shit out there. You can't just throw stuff out there without any evidence to back it up.
Yep. Jerry Maguire. Show me the money.
Prove it. You got screenshots. You got a timeline. All right. I'll take a look at it. Can I see it? I'm requesting. I'll see that.
Your incident occurred what date?
12/24/2020.
Everybody knows that. Christmas Eve of 20.
What
Come
time?
on.
What time?
That's the shady part. Daytime hours. It's they say estimated time morning, sometime in the morning to late morning.
I believe I have messages in the month of November where he was giving me exact dates with people you were with, your whereabouts. You were at this place, you left this place, your place here. He did have a fallout with Frank, right? And I say this because he's gone to a point of disrespecting Frank's supporters. And I want to make it very clear that I'm not here to talk bad about Frank or anything like that. But when he disrespected Frank's supporters, it bothered me, right? Because Frank didn't want to do or participate in something that John asked him to do. Frank said no. He got mad. He went after Frank and came up with so many.
Did you see that?
Yeah, the door closed. So
And did
somebody
you see
walked
what-
out the door.
And did you see what she tried to do? What
She
Vanessa
kinda,
tried to do?
She kind of leaned off screen.
Trying to what? Block the view of who that person might be.
When he
Watch.
disrespected Frank's supporters, it bothered me, right? Because Frank didn't want to do or participate in something that John asked him to do. Frank said no. He got mad. He went after Frank and came up with so many bullshit lies about Frank's wife.
If it was just a random person who's got nothing to do with this, who cares?
Right? Ophelia then took it and spread it to everyone else.
Everyone
And
else.
that's how that constructed into another level when Ophelia said, you know what, I could talk so much about Carla and try to, discredit her as an individual. But yes, John had a lot to do with it.
And look, I know that people had different levels of culpability. That means the fault that people had towards what happened to me. I have a feeling that there's people between the people that put hands on me and John Allen. I know that there was people in between, and I know that there was a
Okay, wait a minute. Say that again.
I have a feeling that there's people between the people that put hands on me and John Allen.
Key words there. I have a feeling. I have a feeling. You know what? The famous facts don't care about your feelings. Facts don't care about your feelings. Show me the facts. Show me the proof. Show me the receipts. Show me the evidence, and then we'll talk.
The proof is in the pudding.
Chocolate pudding, by the way.
I know that there was people in between,
Tapioca.
and I know that there was a network that worked together. But it's not.
She knows that there was a network that worked together. How do you know this? Prove it. You know what? That's my thing. If there's so much damn proof and she knows and she knows and she knows, why isn't there a police report against John? Why is there a police report? Somebody assaults me. Guess what I'm doing? Yo, I was assaulted. I want to file charges. I want to write up a police report in 5 freaking minutes, and I'm doing it. You hate this dude so much. Why haven't you filed charge? Is there not a police report? I've asked this 1,000 times. Why isn't there a police report against John Allen?
Probably because
I don't even think police went to talk to him.
There was nothing founded against him.
Exactly.
They probably did an investigation. I'm sure they did.
Like I said in a live video a couple of weeks ago, whoever comes forward first is the one that gets the deal. That's always the one that gets the deal.
No.
All the time.
No, it's not.
Because you're literally admitting, okay, fine, I understand that if I don't come forward, that somebody else may come forward and I will have no deal at all. And this isn't just a state level thing. This is a thing that is this is like a federal level thing. This
thing is a thing that
literally involves, law enforcement agencies not giving me equal protection under law.
So I have a question for you, Vanessa. During this time, I know John Allen was stalking you. What role did Ophelia play? What did she do to harm?
See, more falsehoods. What did he say? I know John Allen was stalking you. Where's the evidence of it? Anybody can say whatever the hell they want to say, man. And nobody is called out to say, show me the proof. How dare you say that against somebody? Show me the proof that I'll stand right next to you and go, John, you bastard. But until you do, you got nothing. Nothing. Remember Robert De Niro? What movie was that? You got nothing. Al Capone. It was in The Untouchables. You got nothing. It's thin as toilet paper. And just as practical.
For you, Vanessa, during this time, I know John Allen was stalking you. What role did Ophelia play? What did she do to harm you as a person? I know she was stalking you as well behind some dumpsters, sending Adrian and her son to the alley, passing through her house.
What I dealt with her?
Yeah, what have you dealt with her?
I think we've seen it, you guys. First of all, this lady has no insight into my life, okay? And the damage that she caused me, she exploited things that have happened to my children in a very vulgar way. She came to my window. She literally came to my window. That was the night that, in the middle of the night, was the first live video that she had made in.
Okay. She claims Ophelia came to her window. Have you seen her house? She drives in. She's got to open a gate. drive in, and then close the gate behind her right away. So unless Ophelia decided to climb the fence because she needed to be there so bad and look inside her window, I don't see that happening. I don't believe it. I don't buy it. No.
Her bata, almost as if to convince all of you that she was just at home not doing anything.
Too much. To me, the story is too much thinking, too much, and then it's just too much of that. It's not a straight, consistent story.
Well, never is straight and consistent with this one. We know this. There's a lot of bends, twists, curves, and knots, and untruths.
Yeah, untruths. Or she wants people to believe her truth, not the truth.
Right. It's Vanessa's truth.
How would you know to do that if you weren't the one that was at my window just right now? Who would you try to be convincing that about? Because I hadn't gone live. I didn't tell anybody that that's what happened.
I know she's tried to do false reports on you several times.
A lot. Well, like the things that she was saying last night. You see, if what happened, if what they claim, if law enforcement were to actually take her seriously, I would expect them
To take
to
your
do
case seriously.
triple seriousness onto what's happened to me.
Right.
If they take her legitimate complaints at all, I want to see what law enforcement's going to do.
And this guy buddies up with her because he really dislikes Ophelia as well. So they both dislike Ophelia, and justifiably so. Ophelia dislikes them too. I don't think she's got a thing against Vanessa necessarily, but her and this guy have really gone back and forth, and it's gotten ugly. It's gotten ridiculous.
When you compare it to the story of a woman who that actually happened to. So how are you going to, equal protection under law is equal protection.
Correct.
Equal protection. So you're either going to ignore her the way you ignored me, or you're going to do the right thing and recognize that what happened to me is what she's claiming happened to her. And it's not the same.
So the thing is, Vanessa, that I'm trying to get here, and the point across is that if the district attorney or investigators or the chief want to take this serious, or want to take it as a matter, serious, I feel that then they should consider yours and take it serious as well. All the harassment, all the stalking, all the cyberbullying, going after your children, all the mockery they did to you. So
the assumption here is that the assumption here is that Vanessa is innocent in all this.
So, and I just I said I'd never say anything bad about her children, and I'm not going to, but nobody's going after her children. There's only one agency that went after those children, and they already got them. So nobody's after these kids. Just pointing that out.
Yep.
see it as I only gave her a piece of her own medicine.
I was called a whore. I was called a prostitute.
Okay.
I was called a
If I'm not mistaken, didn't he say, are you going to keep doing your drugs? So it's going to lead to that and lead to this and lead to that.
Yeah, but honey, I'm called a million different things every damn day. So a whore and a prostitute. Hey, honey, there ain't nothing wrong with getting paid for something you enjoy doing. Okay, if you enjoy it, collect those coins.
By the way, screenshot opportunity. Anybody? Screenshot opportunity. Screenshot opportunity.
Yeah, somebody take a screenshot because obviously I don't know how to do it. I'm gonna have to Google how to do that. I get other crazy shit happening when I try it.
Hold down the command and the shift buttons. Hold those down together, and then hit the number 3 key.
The command, the shift, and the number 3.
Hold down command and shift, and then just tap on number 3.
Oh, well, would you look at that? Kiss my ass.
Easy.
Okay.
Magic.
Now how do I get rid of that little picture that just popped up?
It'll go away. It'll go away. And I'll tell you where to find it later.
Drug addict. I was called an IV drug user, even though I literally many times, especially during the summer, wear sleeveless shirts, sleeveless dresses. I mean, anything that you can say bad about a person was said about me. Anything that you can say bad about a person. Anything.
Okay, well then nothing else can be said about you then, because it's all been said. What the fuck do you care at this point?
I don't know who said she was an IV drug user. I have no idea. I don't know any of that stuff. All I know is from what she displayed on a few live shows, and one of them involved a crack pipe or some kind of pipe. Yeah, and that was the other one. Some sniffing issues.
Off screen.
There's things that I haven't even talked about, not even to the people that have betrayed me. Nobody knows the things that I actually have where I've seen them talking about me in a group chat that is way worse than anything that has been given to her about herself. The things that she has said about me, completely false. The day that I was taken hostage, she wanted all of you to believe that I was there selling my body.
And there ain't nothing wrong with that, girl. I've sold my body.
They know
at this
exactly
point. I just got a lot more body to sell.
To get me there. They know that the night before, those same people were stopped 1 block away from my house at like midnight.
There's a freaking photograph of all of you together, or 2 or 3 of you together.
Yep. It's a menage a trois.
So, see, this story changes so much. It's like it's like a butterfly. It just changes from one thing to another.
The butterfly effect,
right?
They know that I was not there partying.
What's it? It's the death's head moth. Remember from Silence of the Lambs?
Hello, Clarice.
Hello, Clarice.
That woman who's claiming I'm being stalked. There's a conspiracy against me. There's a conspiracy to hurt me, to harm me, to take my life. No, that happened to me. That's my story. That's my story.
What I know
well,
is
you're the only one that
recently
gets to
she's
tell
been
it.
trying to live your story. She's been trying to do the outcry that you deserve justice for.
That's
Which now,
happened.
but now she wants to be
You must not
Vanessa.
know who
Now
I
she
am.
wants to be Vanessa.
No, but it's like, this is what, you must not know who I am. Who said that? Everything that I've ever stated, I had to stop saying it. I had to stop saying it.
Shanae.
I don't say it as crass.
Girl.
If you go through all of my live videos, all of those one-liners, those are things that I was saying. And I would tell people on my live video, you must not know who I am. You must not have heard of me. Because if you would have heard of me, you wouldn't be trying to do this right now. That's me.
That's me.
Everything that you have heard, and it's obsessive. And then when you have somebody like that, a female like that hates you that much, connected then to a male that has money, that hates you just as bad, then you get the outcome that happened to my life on December the 24th of 2020. That's gang stalking. That's the culmination of gang stalking. That's the culmination of harassment. That's the culmination of hate. That is exactly what these people are claiming are happening to an individual.
Vanessa, if you don't want that man that has that money, send me his number. I'll take him from you.
Nobody conspired to hurt somebody else. Minutes after that happened to me, the same woman that's claiming that what is happening to her right now is basically what happened to me. No. Minutes after that, she called somebody, and that somebody got really upset. And she told that somebody, don't get involved. Don't get involved. Why? Why don't you want that person to get involved? Why? Because you knew the truth. You knew exactly what happened.
So I have a question for you, Vanessa. RJ.
So the one reason she agreed to do this is because this live interview, or whatever you want to call it, is because she will have a soapbox to stand on and get to say whatever she wants to say without interruption, without nobody calling her out on any of it. And that's why he's he'll throw stuff out there, he'll let her talk, and then he won't say anything because she's just let her. This is the show, doing her thing.
Well, in one of the very first videos I've ever watched Vanessa, and I couldn't tell you the date or the day or the video that it was, but she said, "I am the show. Wherever I go, I am the show."
She did say that.
She's over here being the show. And I'm a firm believer in, you give somebody enough rope, sooner or later, they're going to hang themselves.
Yep.
And this one, it's like, we got to be getting close to the end of the rope here.
Yeah.
We got to be.
Hey, everyone who's joining us right now, thank you so much. Hope you're enjoying this interesting broadcast. Hello, everyone. Ileana, hi there. Thanks for joining. Glad you could make it. All right, let's continue this.
Carry on.
We're just over halfway through. I think we're going to get to, they're going to talk about me pretty soon.
Ooh.
Yeah, the juicy part.
Did she address me in the tattoo in the ass yet?
I don't know. Let's find out.
She was a very good friend of mine. She ended up doing me dirty. Apparently, she had many questions for you, Vanessa. RJ, she was a very good friend of mine. She ended up doing me dirty. Apparently, she had mentioned to me that you had asked her for a favor to get information from Ophelia regarding a drone. And all of a sudden, she's spitting out screenshots. She met with John Allen or had a conversation with John Allen and giving him personal information about you and actually talking about the deed or the property that you have. John Allen spoke on it right now on Manny behind the mic.
I made a video. I made a video just before this on my page. I was taking a break from everything because there's things that I have to battle and survive myself. And so I mentioned that just like an hour and a half ago. If you go to my page, I gave detail about exactly what he's asking me about. So the reason, I don't know how you were approached, but
lost her train of thought again.
She worked really hard to gain my trust, and she did, and she helped me in ways. But
John Allen, thank you so much for the super sticker. Appreciate you very much. Oops. There we go.
It's always when people try to manipulate me or use scare tactics.
Okay, when you have these episodes, you're talking and Daniel, it's like you lose your train of thought and you're reaching for something.
That's when you're straws. Coke straws. Oh, did that come out of my mouth?
That's when you're making up a story. You're trying to put something together. You're putting things together. I mean, how many victims have you seen on the first 48 or any of these TV shows? And they come out and they ramble exactly what happened. And no, they just spill it.
Spill the beans.
Spill
the beans.
And she did. And she helped me in ways. But it's always when people try to manipulate me or use scare tactics or to just get me to react in a way that I don't feel comfortable reacting, or that I just, even though I'm strong enough to react that way, I know I shouldn't react that way in that moment. Just things like that. Doing things in my name, and I say, we're trying to get information about a drone, things like that. No. That's not how it went down. But let's go back to the deed. There's a really good lawyer. There's a really good lawyer that she had told me about. He's a fantastic lawyer. He's an awesome lawyer, and she knows who he is. And so there was going to be an exchange of my deed for the services of that lawyer. It's a copy of my deed. That's what it was. It was to help me. So this property now is being, you know, Manny with the mic hates me. He doesn't like me for the same reasons that John Allen doesn't like me, because I'm a woman who doesn't live my life the way that those men want me to live my life. And so,
how do we want her to live her life?
I don't know, but she just said that you hate her. And once again, Vanessa, he has the same feeling on this as I do. You have to know somebody in order to hate them. You have to physically interact with somebody in order to hate them, of which I haven't interacted with you. I don't know you. And Manny hasn't interacted with you, and he doesn't know you. How can we hate you? Dislike, maybe, but I enjoy you. You crack me up. You know, I have to put foundation on my face every day because you crack me up.
I don't know where they get this I hate from. All I'm doing is showing existing videos. Yes, I'm commenting on them. Yes, I'm trying to debunk and, you know, provide commentary to the contrary of what I believe is our facts versus what you're claiming.
Yeah. And if you ever watch Judge Judy, I hate the woman. God, do I hate her. I cannot stand her, but she's right. She's like, I've been doing this for 5,000 years. I can tell when somebody's lying. Okay. It's common sense. If it doesn't sound feasible, it's not. If it doesn't sound common sensey, it's a lie.
Let's continue.
For the same reasons that John Allen doesn't like me, because I'm a woman who doesn't live my life the way that those men want me to live my life.
I don't want you to live your life.
And so,
I don't care how she lives her life. I really don't.
Bow before your king.
I don't care. I care about accusing people of serious offenses when it's not true. That's what I care about.
I want to be her king. Bow before your king.
So Manny has given a platform to John Allen.
My question is here with Manny behind the mic. I had conversations with him at the very beginning. He said it wasn't going to be about you. All of a sudden, it's all about Vanessa making shirts, actually monetizing off yourself.
Hold on. You had a little hater, Miss Tony Fletcher? No, I'm sorry, ma'am. Ma'am, you are very hateful.
What the hell just happened?
You're very hateful.
No. I think it went from one thing to something else. Hold on. Let me do that again.
With him at the very beginning, he said it wasn't going to be about you. All of a sudden, it's all about Vanessa making shirts, actually monetizing off yourself.
Hold on. You had a little hater, Miss Tony Fletcher? No, I'm sorry, ma'am. Ma'am, you are very hateful. I have all the screenshots. If I wanted to, I can show exactly what you've written to me, ma'am.
Tony Fletcher. Who's Tony Fletcher?
She's a viewer. She watches some of the programs and she watches us sometimes and everybody else.
Oh, okay.
But here's a thing where he's trying to make a point, a specific point, and I'm going to hear him out. He's trying to make a specific point, but she's too busy worrying about a hater who made a comment or something.
That's her MO. That's what she does.
Dude wants to complain about me. Let him complain. Let him finish his thought. I'm interested in this. I really am.
Well, she don't care about you.
Oh, I believe she does.
Exactly. You're some lady from like the South, like over there, like the east side of the United States. You don't even know me. And you have suddenly started hating me. You're all over the hate pages. I just want to go ahead and mention that. Okay? That's what I want to.
Man, it's too bad. She took his, what do you call it? She took his thunder away. He was, man, he's monetizing in the t-shirts with your name.
Going back to
just for the record, in case you don't know, y'all don't know this, there are t-shirts. If you've been blocked by someone on Facebook, you can get join the blocked party.
Yeah, and it's free shipping this week.
Free shipping this week.
Tuesday.
I put it in the comments. It's free shipping all week. those shirts or whatever I sell on my page, her name is nowhere to be found. You're not going to find her name on the front or the back or the sides anywhere. It's not about her. It's about being blocked on social media. So
typically by her, but sometimes Facebook throws your ass in jail too, so that's a block party.
She does block a lot of people, though. She does.
To Manny behind the mic. Manny behind the mic was going after you for a very long time. Again, he brought you up into conversation. I know that you mentioned he worked with American Airlines or worked with the board.
No, he is on some kind of board for the Brownsville International Airport.
And have you ever tried making contact of so much hate towards you as an individual, so much negative thing he's doing towards you? Have you tried contacting the board and making a statement out there?
No, I haven't. Not yet. I haven't. I really haven't.
Oh, not yet.
It's time for you to stand up for yourself and do what you got to do.
Yeah, Vanessa.
You allow people to walk all over you, and I know you have your pride and you don't want to listen to it, but sometimes you got to let go of that ego and say, you know what, enough with the bullshit.
Girl, put
Let
on your
go of that
6-inch
ego.
stiletto heels and start walking all over people.
Let go of that ego.
Stand up for yourself. And your 4'3" self could be 4'9" with those 6-inch stilettos. Stand up for yourself.
I look forward to the call. I will be ready to answer your call.
Okay, now I got a stupid question. So are you on the board at the Brownsville Airport?
I am on a board of
I know it's not the airport.
airport advisory board.
Okay, so all right, now I know what you are.
It's a civilian airport advisory board.
Yeah, I know what you do.
Yeah. So, okay. Again, someone who has got nothing to do with this, but he wants to go ahead and say, yeah, go ahead. You should do it. Do that. Call. Stand up for yourself. Make the call.
Make that call, girl. Call, girl.
To somebody who's completely irrelevant saying this.
Call, girl. I made it funny. Here she's sitting there saying she's a prostitute and a whore, and I'm over here. Call, girl. Oh, I'm not right.
So this is the guy who, yes, early on when he started doing his thing, his show, and he wanted to be on my show real bad. And I just, you know what? It wasn't the right time, man. I was just taking off into my own thing, and it just, it's like this show is like my child. I know more or less when things should happen. And I know when I should have people on or do this or do that. I get a feel for what I feel is when I should bring people on or have an interview or whatever. And it just wasn't the right time. And I know he didn't like that. And, sorry or not sorry. It's my decision. It's my show. And so I thought, well, sometime in the future, we'll see what happens.
So would you let him come on with his blonde hair and his red lipstick and his purple heels?
I don't know which way. At first I thought he should come in costume, and so he can do his shtick, right? His show or his character or whatever. And because he's got some funny points. He does. I'm not going to say he doesn't, but just some of the back and forth he's been going with a few different people. It crossed the line and it got ugly already. So I decided, no, I'm not gonna have him on. So last night I did a show about this drama that's going on between a few of the pages, and afterwards I'd say, you know what, maybe I'll give him a shot. I'll ask him. I want to know a few things, and I will give him a shot. And I may invite him over to the show. That was last night. And this morning, and I even thought about it. I was like, it's not going to happen right away, but I thought, you know what, maybe I will. Let's see what happens. Then speed up till this after, and then this happens.
And then,
so yeah, it's in the opinion of Manny that
yeah,
nah, next, forward.
Yeah, I wish he
Well,
could
it's
do a
not-
little bit more talking than her, because I'd be kind of interested to hear what he has to say instead of, because what she's saying we've all heard a billion times.
Well, this is their, I believe this is damage control for the video that for John Allen being with me yesterday.
Okay, well,
And-
if she would just answer his questions outright and stay off the same thing over and over and over, like the redundancy repeating herself. I mean, answer his questions and then move on to the next one.
And the invitation to her is there, and I would let her talk and say whatever. But I'm going to have questions, and I would want those answered. It's not just going to be just the Vanessa show, and soapbox, or what do you call it? The political, the grandstanding, or what do they do? What do you call it? The flabber? I can't remember. Filibustering.
Filibusters.
Not necessarily.
It's not going to be that. I'll let you say what you want to say here and there, but you got to answer some questions too. And I'll be as fair as possible. I will. I don't want no. The invitation is there for her to come to the show and say what she wants to say. I know it won't happen, but it's there for what it's worth.
The ego, it's, you know what? Sometimes I'm smart enough and brave enough, because you got to be.
So let me
brave
go
enough.
back a little
Sometimes
bit so we
you
can
wanna-
remember.
Making contact.
We can remember where we left off with this conversation.
Yeah.
So much hate towards you as an individual. So much.
all over the hate pages. I just want to go ahead and mention that. Okay.
Hi, Linda.
That's what I want to.
Okay, going back to Manny behind the mic. Manny behind the mic was going after you for a very long time. Again, he brought you up into conversation. I know that you mentioned he worked with American Airlines or worked with the board.
No, he is on some kind of board for the Brownsville International Airport.
And have you ever tried making contact of so much hate towards you as an individual, so much negative thing he's doing towards you? Have you tried contacting the board and making a statement out there?
No, I haven't. Not yet. I haven't. I really haven't.
I think it's time for you to stand up for yourself and do what you got to do. You allow people to walk all over you, and I know you have your pride and you don't want to listen to it, but sometimes you got to let go of that ego and say, you know what, enough with the bullshit.
Well, it's not necessarily ego. It's, you know what? Sometimes I'm smart enough and brave enough, because you got to be brave enough. Sometimes you want to go in there and you want to defend yourself so badly. And sometimes you have to allow yourself to get beat up socially. Because if you go in there too soon, the damage that the people that you are trying to exactly, the damage to if I go to his board and I say, look at this, look at this, then now that I've waited, imagine if I would have done that in the beginning months ago. Imagine that.
So it's timing.
Yes, exactly. Because had I done that months ago, I wouldn't have been able to say, look at this man who stalked me. Look at this man who worked with, the prosecution.
I worked with the prosecution?
No, John. John
Shit.
works with the prosecution.
Oh, no. She's talking about me in this case. I worked with the prosecution. Why wasn't I notified about this?
Valley Girl, thank you for the Cash App.
Why wasn't I notified about this? Somebody call the DA, like right now, please.
Yeah, because if you're
Yes,
working for the
exactly.
prosecution, you need to be collecting your pay.
Right?
I mean, get them coins.
What am I, like an informant or something? How much do informants get?
I get out of jail free card, usually.
Oh,
Because had I done that months ago, I wouldn't have been able to say, look at this man who stalked me.
see, now she's saying I stalked her.
Uh-huh.
Look at this man who worked with, the prosecution.
And I worked for the prosecution. Okay.
Right? Look at this man who's done this. Look at this man who runs this hate page.
And it's a hate page too, because she says so. Okay.
I wouldn't be able to do that. And now I can go to that board and say, how can you be okay with this person representing you? And the same thing cannot be done with me, because I don't show hate. I survive it.
Okay, so she does not show hate, but yet every time she
my
does a
God,
video,
this is funny.
she's got to show profiles and go, look at this picture right here. Would you look at that picture? Who wants to date that? I mean, that filter and those, she smokes crack. I mean, come on, Vanessa.
And that's not slander because you've done it on video, so it's there. The proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
But did you hear what she just said? Okay, I'm going back.
Yeah, I'm rewind a little bit.
To me, look at this man who worked with, the prosecution, right? Look at this man who's done this. Look at this man who runs this hate page. I wouldn't be able to do that. And now I can go to that board and say, how can you be okay with this person representing you? And the same thing cannot be done with me because I don't show hate. I survive it.
She doesn't show hate. Vanessa, you're the biggest hater I've ever met in my damn life.
Oh, that was so good.
And trust me, I've met some damn bullies in my time. And girline, you take the cake.
Wow. That was good. I felt like I just had a release. That was so good.
There's a difference.
Did you drop some kids off at the pool?
The Board of Nursing now knows that. Oh. And no matter how hard people have tried to make me look.
Wait, what was that?
There's a difference.
The Board of Nursing
My employer knows that. The Board of Nursing now knows that.
Everybody knows it. Everybody and their mother knows it. There's no big secret.
And no matter how hard people have tried to make me look like the very people who have come after me, they can't and they never will. They never will.
I want to ask you a question, Vanessa. If we were to present this video to the district attorney, to the investigator, to the chief of Raymondville, what message would you have across regarding to those so-called screenshots Ophelia has that she wants to or she did try to press charges? What would be your message to them regarding to your situation?
If they take her outcry, first of all, that's completely, there's a word for that. It is,
spit it out.
Brain fart.
It's picking and choosing who to prosecute and who not to prosecute. But that's not equal protection under law. If you're going to take the claims of what has unfolded in the last 24, 48 hours seriously, while you literally ignore the systematic breakdown of my life in which civil and criminal processes have been used against me, literally death threats, literally the prosecution refusing to even follow the lead, but they're going to take her claims seriously? Are you serious? You don't think that a community is going to look at that and be like, that is not the same thing that happened to Vanessa Tijerina, and they did not do anything to the people that did that to Vanessa Tijerina? That's going to matter. It's going to matter.
Vanessa, if the prosecutor doesn't follow lead, usually there is no lead to follow.
In about 30 minutes, I was trying to see if your time is okay with us here.
I still have a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So any else you want to elaborate or talk about and stuff like that, Vanessa?
I never wanted to have to do this, and I'm sure you never wanted to have to do this either. But the thing is, you force people in a situation to defend themselves, and then people get mad when you are better at defending yourself than they are at offending you.
So you get upset because you put your life in front of the camera for the world to see, and then people start critiquing and starting to fact check and starting to stream and report and show what you're doing because you put your life out there publicly. So now you want to blame everybody else?
Yeah. I mean, if you kind of like throw your life out in front of people are going to like watch you.
And it's been said that certain people are looking into me and trying to find stuff on me, What do you want to know? You want to look for something?
Are you
Call me up and ask me. Call me and ask me.
Are you an open book?
Open book. Somebody want to know something? Call me and ask me. I'll save you the trouble of searching for nothing. You're barking up the wrong tree, and you really don't want to go there.
Woof, woof, woof.
If you don't think I know whose office that is, or whose building that is, and who all the people that are connected to it. I mean, if you want to go that route, okay. I don't know that I give a shit. I honestly don't.
Woof, woof, woof.
So you need to know something, I'll save you the trouble. Ask. My phone number is not hidden. It's on my page. It goes right to this phone. No need to investigate. Just call.
Mine's
I'll tell you what you want to know.
I don't need a whole lot of BBC calling me at all hours of the night.
And all of a sudden, when people, like, if somebody were to walk into this video right now, they would probably be like, she's a bitch. Look at her. She's just going after people. Because they're taking it out of context. They're not understanding everything that it took for me to have to make this video that I didn't even want to make, simply because there's people out there that are trying to scare my supporters. He says that he's going to take your house. Well, tell him to take me to court. Because
yeah, that was talked about yesterday. That's not going to happen. I got nothing to do with that. And if John's going to do something, I doubt he is. He said he's not going to do that. That was just somebody in the comments asked a question about suing for slander, and we addressed it and we talked about it. And it's not going to happen. So don't you worry your little head there.
that will open up a whole can of worms. In order for you, because they're saying that because of that deed that the person had the deed because they were trying to save me. They were trying to find someone to help me.
So how do you feel about her backstabbing you, put it to you that way?
It's hurtful. It's hurtful because there's things that I have helped her with when nobody else was going to help her, and I helped her, and she knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I heard down the grapevines that you would help her sometimes financially. You were there helping her in that aspect.
I helped her in one big way financially, and that was in one big way. In one big way.
One thing that I want to clarify here is Anid herself.
And she paid me back. Okay. But it was something that not a lot of people would do.
Anid herself defended you. I have conversations with her where when all this started, coming out, Anid was really defending you. Yes, she was hurt with certain stuff, but she stood up for you. She fought your battles with RG.
I know she did. And the thing is, Anita's in a position, and that is why I have to have really strong friends. In order for me to have a circle of any kind of friends, they have to be so strong. They have to be able to pick sides and not play both sides. I cannot have people that play both sides. And that is exactly what's happening here. And I can understand it because Anita doesn't want to look like a certain way to certain people. But the thing is, in the same way, I mean, come on now. She's siding with somebody that literally is right now helping John Allen systematically continue to try to destroy me. Even though she knows, because she's told you, she's told other people, and she's tried to defend me by telling the truth about what was going on regarding them reaching out to, people. But now she's there playing both sides.
Right.
That's hurtful. And that is exactly the reason that I stay away from people. And the thing is that these people reached out to me. Both these ladies reached out to me. They asked me to trust them. Both of them.
Since I received a message that that's streaming us right now, which is copyright, or what is it? Since we're doing it our live, she's streaming us on hers.
It's okay if she streams
would you like to give her a message or let her know?
No, I don't. No. She's streaming us. The things that she complains about other people doing to her, she does them to other people.
Right.
I mean, come on now.
And that was the whole thing that I wanted to bring you on board so that you could hear her name and so we could hear her side of the story, that how is it any difference from what I did to an individual who ruined your life and destroyed you and went after your kids, went after your parents, your grandparents. I remember the time that I went to with her, that I met the very first time that we went to the Raymondville Cemetery. She asked me to take a picture. I believe it was your grandpa or someone that was buried, freshly buried there. I said, no, I didn't do it. She wanted me to stand in front of the tombstone and take a picture. To make a mockery out of it, to laugh out of it and stuff. So I didn't participate in that. I know people have been telling you, oh, don't trust Jaime, don't trust this, but
no, she has laughed at your potential death.
Oh yeah, she has.
She has laughed.
She wants me to die.
She has laughed at the potential death of a life. She has said that I will not live to be 50.
These guys have laughed at each other's everything. The attacks are not just going one way and that's it. You know, every action's got a reaction, and people are going to react on both sides.
So this dude here, what's his name?
Jaime. Yeah.
Oh, one of my best friends' name was Jaime.
Yeah.
So he's like, well, we wanted to bring her on board. Okay, so now Vanessa works with him, because that's what on board means. You know, they're a team. They're working together now.
Oh, you mean like he recruited her or something?
Yeah, and he has said that, I don't know, like 5, 6, 7 different times throughout this video. We brought her on board. We finally brought her on board. And he just said it like a few minutes ago or a few seconds ago. If you want to rewind it, you can hear him say it again.
So in other words, they've got their own little organized situation that they're working on.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, we're almost done with this thing.
I don't know if y'all remember that, but she said that.
Mm-hmm.
She said, you're not going to live to be 50. She's not going to live to be 50. I mean, come on.
Well, she's a big mess right now. And the thing is that I hope that if something goes down and they take her serious, well, I want her to get arrested too. That's it. If I get arrested for what I did, I'll step it up, right? And I'll accept my consequences. But she has to get arrested with me.
Girl, if you got arrested, you'd be in heaven. You know you would be.
Drugs
you'd be on your knees like there'd be no tomorrow.
I didn't go after your children. I wasn't part of that organization.
Ruby, welcome. I don't mind sharing this at all. I don't mind. You want exposure? I get you exposure. I don't have a problem with that. Little disappointed. You know, I had this conversation. I was thinking about maybe having you on at some point in the future, but you're going to engage in this kind of stuff.
So is Ruby
I'd rather not. Yeah. Yep.
Oh. Hey, Ruby.
Ruby?
I mean,
meet Bam. Bam, meet Ruby.
What up?
Everyone, Ruby's in the house.
Ruby and the hizzy.
So, yeah, I had thought about, I wanted to talk to everyone. I wanted to get everyone's take on all this, how you guys got here. I won't say me, because I'm not getting in the mix of all this. But you guys are going back and forth at it, and 2 or 3 of the pages are at it. And yeah, I wanted to see what happened. Where did it go bad?
What happened?
Is there any remedy for this in the future? Because I know some of y'all were real good friends. Some of you were very good friends.
Hi, Kate.
Too bad that it got to where it is. I think you guys both, everyone, I'll say 3 parties involved, have crossed the line, and you just keep moving the line, further and further out, getting more dangerous. And just remember, it's entertainment. Anybody who's trying to take somebody else's job, like I said before, I'm not with that.
Entertainment at its finest. And yeah, I'm not a fan about going after somebody's livelihood either. I mean, I know what it's like trying to pay a car payment, an insurance payment, a mortgage payment, and put food on the table and not work. It's not easy. It's not fun.
Ultimately, everybody's got to live. So I'm not there for taking somebody's livelihood. So that I got nothing to do with that. And I'm not a fan of, involving children. I don't care which way it was, who started it or whatever. At this point, it all got lost in who did it first or who said what first. I'm not going to point the finger in any one way because everybody's done it. The 3 pages have done it, and it started somewhere. And I'm not going to single any one person out. But I don't agree with that. I'm not a fan of pulling people's kids and however old they are, and you won't know until you have children what that feels like.
Yeah, minor children have absolutely no business being brought into adult situations.
And if it's not children, the deceased. I'm not a fan of, leave the deceased rest in peace and leave them alone.
Yeah, the dead, they can't.
Hopefully they're off to a better place and don't need none of this bull crap. So anyway, a few more minutes here. Everybody, keep it cool. Don't go crazy.
Yeah. Be respectful.
Yep. That's all I ask.
It's trying to hurt you, to have you killed.
That's a real
Right.
organized
So,
crime. Yes,
There's
exactly.
you could compare them, but there's a huge difference between what she did and I've done, and it's very different balance. You balance them out very differently.
It's like, what message are you going to send? What message are you going to send people in the Rio Grande Valley? What a lot of us already know, that it's who you know, or that it's who has pissed off the police the most. It's not who's going to get justice. It's going to be like, which side are we going to take as law enforcement so that we won't look so bad? Or now we have to really fix things, because we put ourselves in a situation.
Right.
Either way, then no. I think that's the biggest reason for me coming here with you was when I was like, you are not claiming that this is organized crime to take a life. You are not claiming that this is organized crime to hurt you, physically hurt you. Because everything that you are claiming is, and Miss Schnabel, don't you have an insurance agency?
Oh, she does.
Oh no, she has an insurance agency like in San Benito or Harlingen or something like that. People with small businesses shouldn't be showing hate.
I have my other page where I could actually expose that.
People with small businesses should not be showing hate.
Do you have the name of it? Because I'll go to my other page and
I had the screenshots.
Okay,
She either has her insurance agency.
Moderators, I'm going to say, do what you got to do. I don't want anything to go on overboard. If you guys can't have the civil conversation, then you will be removed. And, I don't care where you're from or what page or what site. If somebody is defending themselves, I don't know. I'll let my moderators handle that. I'm not going to read all these comments. Some of them are ridiculous. And that's just there's ways to insult each other without getting vulgar and nasty.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Take lessons from drag queens. we can insult without getting nasty.
Actually, yeah, I've heard some of that before. It's pretty funny. So, see, ultimately, at some point down the road, you and him would probably get along. You guys have common things to talk about.
I promise I would never ground up glass and put it in your powder, girl. Promise.
I don't even know what that means. Don't even know what that means. So everybody, just be cool, please. It's only a few more minutes, and if you need to go and get nasty somewhere, take it somewhere else. Mods, you got to do what you got to do.
Do what you got to do.
Or she works for an insurance agency.
Well, I'll call her boss. I'll figure it out. So moving forward, guys, I want to thank you, Vanessa, for being here with us. I know you have to get going for the rest of your day, but thank you. So
basically, if you say something she doesn't like, she, in her eyes, she's got the right, and I guess Ruby agrees with her, that you got the right to call her boss and tell her, she's being hateful. When did all that become okay?
Probably when the millennials and XYZs got into the workforce.
I mean, really, that's what you guys want to do with that? Here, they're wrapping it up right now. What do we got? A minute.
Thank you for allowing me to spend 30, 45 minutes here with you. I appreciate it. And I want to thank everybody that was here with us tonight. I don't have any moderators on my Facebook. I took them all out. So we do have some other peacocks here. And that's why you see all those negative comments.
It's okay.
But it's okay. I'll deal with it. I decided to do it this way because I wanted everybody to have the opportunity to come speak and be respectful. Of course, you have those idiots that don't respect people.
Thank you, Lavina.
But I will continue not to have moderators. And I thank you so much for being here with me.
Thank
today.
you. I knew this.
Go for it.
Somebody said, thank you. So going after people's jobs is so trashy.
Well, they did it to you.
It is. Only low lives would do something
So
like
what's the
that.
difference?
It's okay.
It is. You know, if you got a beef with somebody personally, you know, hash it out together, man.
Yeah. I mean, what happened to sitting down, talking, and working out the situation? No, fact that I'm going to go for blood. I'm taking your money from you. I'm taking your house from you. I'm taking your kids from you. Yeah, you can't sit down and have a discussion or an argument. You got to go straight for the heart and like squeeze and like rip it out and then take a bite out of it and throw it in the trash. Wow.
Bam,
Alrighty then.
Hey, Bam, tone it down a little. You're being like Amber Heard drama, kind of, you know.
Well, you know, I do like Amber Heard. And I'm really pissed that she's not the next Aquaman.
Yeah. You know, the example I keep giving is a year ago, maybe it was a little more, give or take, about a year ago. Somebody said, "Oh, Frank's pissed off, and Frank's this, and you're doing this," and you're kind of like, "Oh, what?" Did I go back and forth on social media and go back and forth and get into a back? No. Frank, give me a call. I want to talk. Let's talk. And I called him up, ironed it out. I was totally legit honest with him. Hey, you know, you weren't doing it, and I just started streaming her. There was a question. People were calling me a copycatter for streaming Vanessa, and huge difference because I like to stream and comment on it. It's like a reaction video. Reaction videos are big right now. You know, they show movies or music videos.
And I happen to enjoy Vanessa. I enjoy watching her. She's funny. She makes me laugh.
Yeah, and I mean, it is what it is. And everybody's got their reason for streaming or whatever, and I've got my motive. And it's not for her to lose her job. That's not my thing. Me, it's got to do with politics and who she's going to represent, who she wants to represent. And you know what? It's my right to do that. It's my right to do that. So I do it that way with commentary. I called Frank and he said, "You know what? Yeah, I'm tired of it anyway, man. You know, good luck." He said, "Good luck with it. You know, it's going to be all right or whatever." And it's not that I had to ask him for permission, but I just, hey, let's clear the air. I'm not copying you. Just kind of fell into my lap because somebody said, "Hey, we want to watch her, but she's blocked. She's blocked us." And it turned from that into what it is now. So, but I called him and I said, "Let's work. Yeah, I'm going to talk and call him and work this out. I'm not going to go back and forth on and become this drama." So, and yes, I hear some of you what you were saying. I don't know the history of it, which is what I was trying to get at by inviting some people on and say, "Hey, where did this all begin? Let's go back and kind of go down memory lane and how did it start? How did it get to this when people were such good friends?" And I said, I want to do this because every time I ask someone or somebody sends a message and said, "Oh, you know what happened was this," and then I'll get what happened was this, and I can have 5 people give me 5 different stories, and they're all different, and it's more. I don't think they know. I think it's like opinion. And right now I'm not going to do that. I'm already way overboard right now, and save that thought for something else for a different time. I'm not a fan of what you did with this. You want to do that? I mean, I don't care. I got nothing to hide. If she wants to make the call or you're going to do it for her or whatever, and call the board of whatever board you want to call, you know, that's on you guys. You know, I'm just not a fan of that kind of stuff, and it's not my thing. So, but at some point, I do want to get to the bottom, if possible, And somebody said, well, do your research like you tell us to do. It's like, yeah, you know what? You know how many videos there are? You know how long that would take me? You know how long it would take me to watch every single freaking video from the beginning and try to decipher all of that stuff?
There's 7 years worth of videos there. Even she'll tell you that.
I'll be in my 60s. I said, I'll be I'm retired. I mean, if somebody wants to pay me to do it, I'll spend, 8 or 10 hours a day watching videos. But that's a lot of video to watch. And it's quicker to go to the source and I want to hear, what happened in your eyes? And then go to the other side and go, what happened in your eyes? And then try to put it together. So,
I kind of felt, Jaime was asking Vanessa some questions. It kind of felt like it was a debate between Democrats and Republicans. I mean, the question was asked, but it was never answered.
And what was the question?
Well, I mean, he asked her several questions, and she kind of like went off on and never really answered his questions, which really, I mean, she like reran and repeated herself like she did for the past 6 months. She kept on saying the same thing over and over and over again in every video, like she did tonight. She never really answered any of his questions.
Yeah, and that's one thing that, and I don't know if maybe he can run it to his friend Vanessa, but that my invitation for her to come on was totally serious. I would turn off the chat, the comments for the event. I don't want any disrespect against her or against myself, obviously.
Well, we would have to keep her focused, so that's why we'd turn them off.
Yeah, I mean, I would turn them off because I don't want her to just say, oh, wait, look at that, what he's saying, or look at that hateful comment. Yeah, I don't want no hateful comments, but I legit want to ask a lot of questions, and I'll give her fair amount of soapboxing and let her talk what she wants to say. But if she's willing to open up, then you know what? I'll open up the platform as well. So if you want to take that back to her, I don't think it'll happen if she thinks I'm a hate page or whatever. But I think, Jaime, your few minutes here, I mean, you see how I am. I'm not blocking you. I'm not kicking you out. I'm not being disrespectful. Just trying to have a conversation and understand things. And that's what I would like to do. And a lot of people have a lot of information on her. Some is legit factual, but a lot of it isn't. That's by design from her. Like, nobody knows the real thing. So it would be nice to be able to ask her some direct questions if she would even answer them. But
maybe that's the way she keeps herself mysterious.
Yeah, and I don't think she'll ever accept the invite. But it's there. If somebody wants to run that back to her at some point.
I mean, I would actually really love to talk with her in person. I mean, because I've said it before. I mean, her and I've listened to the music she plays in her some of her chats, and it's like, oh my God, we have the same music taste. It's like, I bet her and I would actually be friends in another life.
Probably would. I mean,
and I don't hate the woman. I really don't.
I don't want to make it sound like I'm kissing anybody's ass.
Oh yeah.
But we've said it before. I've said it for almost 3 years that I've been online. She's got the gift of gab, man. She can do a lot of good stuff if she would quit with this petty shit.
I bet you she'd be a hell of a car salesperson.
If she were going to go into business of sales, she would make $1 million selling cars.
Oh hell yeah!
Or selling whatever. And if she was going to be a politician, she talks a mile a minute, man. She'll convince a lot of people of a lot of things in DC, probably. Focus is what you got to do and quit all this petty shit. Clear things up and focus yourself. And she could be a force. Until that happens, this is the same kind of thing that's going to happen in her life. And
she'd be the next AOC. God, I hope not. We don't need another one.
That's my opinion. But yeah, a double dose of AOC.
Yeah, no bueno.
You got the East Coast version, then you got the Texas,
the Southern version. I'm not a fan of AOC.
So Anyway, let's see. Is that the end, or was there some few more seconds here?
I think that was the end.
Let's see.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay to
here?
do it to her, but it's not okay for me to do it for them who talk shit about my mom,
That's the
who talk shit
hypocrisy.
about my brothers.
That's the hypocrisy
Right?
here.
Yeah, see, I'm not a fan of all that either. You know, if A has a problem with B, then A and B need to work it out. Quit adding C and D and everybody else in the family or whatever.
And you know, I got to say once again, here's Jaime looking at her like, "Are you really crazy? I mean, did that just come out of your mouth?"
Yeah.
That's the hypocrisy. Is that when you hate me, it's okay to do it to Vanessa Tijerina, but it's not okay to do it to the people that are showing Vanessa Tijerina hate. Are you kidding me?
Everybody does to everybody. And I don't call it all hate against her. It's more like you're not telling the truth. It's like, come on. Come on, you're not telling the truth. That's what it is. And to an extent, annoying sometimes or a lot of times.
Yeah.
But it's not hate. I mean, look at how many people want to watch. You know, it's almost 300 people watching right here.
And
people are interested.
I think a lot of that is because they can't get Vanessa, or they've been blocked by Vanessa and they really want to watch her, or they're in parts of the world where they can't on her platform.
And that's one of the things I wanted to ask her is about the whole blocking deal and stuff. And, you know, there's a lot to say there, and I would be interested. I'll just leave it at that. My door is open. Should that ever become a possibility, you know, invitation is there. So that concludes yet another episode of.
I'm not sure if I look a little red or a little tan.
A little bit red, maybe.
I don't know. Well, I do have my light turned down a little bit, but I'm still just using that one light above my head.
Yeah, that's cool. So yes, working on a couple of things, still working on them. Waiting for a couple of guests to decide whether or not they want to be a guest and talk about. I've got a few requests to a couple of clinical psychologists. I want to talk about sociopaths, psychopaths. What's the?
Are we going to talk about
that's the wrong one?
Are you going to talk about the child liking people, or what are they called now?
MAPs, MAPs, minor attracted people.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Or persons.
That's disgusting. They're pedophiles. They're fucking pedophile.
Yeah, there's that's very disturbing. I want to look into that a little more to see what it happened again. A teacher telling students, young students, don't call them pedophiles, call them MAPs, minor attracted persons. And it's like, that's shady as F. You know what I'm talking about? And so I'm not a fan of that.
You know, ever since the woke generation or the woke concept came out, I mean, you gotta, I mean, you just gotta rip your hair out and shake your head, going like, "What the fuck are you people thinking of?" I mean, what is severely wrong with you? You got some serious issues.
Yeah, that's very disturbing.
Ruby, we're not upset because you interviewed her, or I'm not. Manny,
I'm not upset at all.
Yeah, no. And
I don't
right
think
ahead, interview her.
I don't think you're talking to me. You're not. You're not. I'm not upset by it. I don't mind if she goes on live and talks. I'm not. I never said, "Oh, shut her up." I never said that. I don't want her to keep her mouth shut. She can talk whatever she wants to talk. And what I don't find interesting, I'm not going to stream or watch or comment on or whatever. It's just not my thing. But I'm not anyone to tell anybody don't talk or don't get online or don't go live. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that at all. And there have been times where Bam and I actually agree with her on things that she's saying.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's like,
Like the whole jewelry store thing.
Did we just agree with her on this? It's like, did we just agree with her? And, yeah, I think we did. Oh yeah, the whole jewelry store about the nurse, the LVN not getting a discount
of what was it, 15%, 10%,
right,
whatever it was,
because somebody said you're not an RN.
I mean, who really cares? Is 10% really going to hurt the store? No, it's not. It's 20% going to hurt the store? No, it's not. Just shut up, err on the side of the customer, and give them the damn discount.
Yeah, good for business. It's bad for business when you don't give that discount under those situations. So, and there was other stuff, and I always said, if you have real evidence that somebody's doing stuff against you, you can show me the proof. Hey, I'll stand with you and say, yeah, you know what, this ain't cool. You know, I don't hate her like that. So anyway, and I keep repeating that stuff. Everybody, thanks for watching a couple hours, and I'm guessing you're not going to work tomorrow, Bam.
No, I've already texted in sick for the. And see, I have an auto shuttle at 10:50, so that covers the morning part. But I did extend it to 1 o'clock because I have a 12:15 childcare shuttle, so I don't have to do that one either. So I don't have to show up to work until 1:30.
Oh, cool! There you go.
Yeah.
So you get to sleep in a little bit.
Well, and I do have a doctor's appointment at 11:30 anyway, but which would have been after morning routes and everything anyway. So I mean, I'm using that. Because I gotta, we're still going through this issue here. I gotta have some tests and some blood work, and they want to do a pre-surgical physical on me.
Yeah. Hey, real quick before I forget, everyone, and this is another item that was thrown at me tonight. T-shirts, block party T-shirts. I do sell them. If you've been blocked on social media by anybody.
Facebook, they're notorious for throwing people in jail.
Become a member of the block party. Now, these shirts do not have Vanessa's name anywhere on them.
Just block party.
Not even a photo of her. They're not anywhere on those T-shirts. So I would appreciate it if you would quit saying that, because that is just completely false.
But the only photo of Vanessa might be on my ass at some point.
And that's a conversation we're going to get deeper into as the year ends.
I am willing to tattoo Vanessa on my ass.
So that you can say,
Vanessa, I'm sitting on your face, girl. Whether you like it or not. You have 300 and some odd pounds of ass on you. Literally. And I'm not talking your ass, I'm talking my ass.
So... Yes, so right now you can go to Manny's merch.com, and there's free shipping for the next 5 days. So it's a good chance to get what you want and pick up a T-shirt, all colors, all different styles too. There's a lot of cool stuff. Even little onesies for babies, little onesies that say Black Party.
And if you happen to be watching any kind of Vanessa videos or anything, and you happen to like pause it at just and I'm going to inopportune time, and Vanessa's just got like this really weird facial expression. Screenshot that bad boy, ship it off to me, ship it off to Manny. At some point, I'm gonna narrow it down to 5, and y'all gonna vote on like the top one that's gonna go on my backside.
Yeah, so he's looking for the right photo. It's not 100% yet that he's gonna do that. We're in. He's thinking about it hard, because I'm like, that's a serious decision to make, right?
It is, because tattoos are forever.
Yeah,
they are. They're forever.
We'll see what happens here come year end.
And you know, Vanessa always says that nobody does pretty pictures of her when she has makeup on. So I mean, if you happen to grab one where she has a makeup on and she's like, or whatever, whether she's done her face or not, I'm willing to look at them.
You should pick a nice photo, something that she uses in videos that's all filtered and stuff, you know.
And she said she doesn't use filters. Guess what, Jim? I seen a video of her the other day where she used a freaking filter, and I could tell. So, and it's not lipstick on a pig. She does look pretty good when she's all made up. She just should stay away
Yeah.
from the red because that's not typically a color you see during the day.
Yeah, see, people are keep saying I'm making money off Vanessa. Her name's on my shirts, and they're not. So they're not. Go take a look yourself. They're not. I don't care what anybody says. Go look at them yourself. Look for yourself. Do some research for yourself. Anybody who wants to claim that.
Okay, so the placement will be probably on the right cheek and the right cheek only. It's not going to be anywhere close to the middle of the butt. Yeah, it might be on the left cheek. I don't know. I do tend to sit on my right cheek a little bit more than my left cheek. Oh, well.
Yeah. All right. Everybody have a great night. Appreciate you watching the show. We will come at you. Come at you. You know what? I got to do that ticket show. I think tomorrow we'll do the Camille Leitner ticket show for the tickets to see Pippin at the Camille Leitner Playhouse. Enjoy some good culture that's not online. Enjoy some actual good arts and go see a play. We'll do that tomorrow. I want to do that today, and I'll do that tomorrow. Everyone have a great night. Bam, buddy. We'll talk to you later. Peace out. Have a good night, everybody.